Do you think he's nervous?
Because it's coalition governance, he knows he will have to move very carefully. What mystifies me is that Chandrababu Naidu, with 16 Lok Sabha seats, has agreed to 2 ministers, the same number as Nitish Kumar. Why?
Narendra Modi is back as the Prime Minister of India for the third time and for the first time with a coalition government. He'll be heading a coalition government this time. And to talk about things like, what kind of political future awaits Prime Minister Modi and will he be successful in running a coalition government, I have with me contributing editor Neeja Chaudhary with me. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. In your column today, you talked about Prime Minister Modi running the coalition government successfully, but also how the June 4th results did not come as he had expected. But there was a kind of relief the next day. Do you think he'll be successful in running a coalition government?
Well, that is the question everybody is asking today. As he has formed the government and as he is now about within minutes to allocate portfolios for which everybody is waiting, so much suspense. Will the old hands get what they had earlier, particularly the top four? Will Nirmala Sitharaman get finance? Will it be Piyush Goyal instead? Will they swap places? All this is going on. But yes, the results were not what was expected, nor the hype that had been created that he will come with a very comfortable majority. Of course, they gave the slogan "Char So Par," and the results were very different. But the first day, if you recall, when he went to the party office and with all these flowers, petals being showered on him, it was a subdued prime minister looking very tired. Of course, he gave the normal speech, but obviously it came as a big disappointment. The next day, I'm told, when he held the Council of Ministers meeting, he had bounced back. And those who were there said that, he was giving them the pep talk that we are, why this matam? Our numbers on our own 240 are more than the entire opposition put together. He was referring to India alliance. And why, it's like a student who wanted to score 95% but got 85%, and there was so much unhappiness that he didn't get what he was gearing for. And you have on the side, and at the other side, a student who was not expected to make the grade and has suddenly passed, and everybody is so jubilant. Anyway, all this talk of trying to shore up the spirits of his party colleagues, but they said what came across to them at that time was that what he said about coalition governance, that we will make a success of coalition government and coalition dharma will follow. And they felt that he'd probably taken this as a challenge. Now, let's see what happens. He has his task cut out for him. It's not going to be easy. Coalition governance has never been easy. We've seen many prime ministers, 25 years, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Vishwanath Pratap Singh, even Narasimha Rao, when he was elected in 1991, he had 240. Exactly the figure that Narendra Modi has in that government. And he ran a minority government for almost a couple of years, very successfully. Of course, it was a different personality because Narendra Modi, he's won every election he's contested, but he has always headed majority governments, unlike Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who had 3 stints at prime ministership, and every time it was a coalition government. So it's going to be a challenge.
Do you think he's nervous?
I don't see nervousness.
What is it that you're picking? Because you also talked about caution that he will have to take looking at the cabinet that he has. So, what is it that you're picking?
I think, you see, because it's coalition governance, he knows he will have to move very carefully. He would want to stabilize the government first. And the first challenge was forming the government without a glitch, but the only discordant note was struck by the NCP. And they were offered MOS independent charge to Praful Patel, and the NCP has turned it down unless they get cabinet posts. Now, that's a very interesting thing. Uh, it was conveyed to the NCP that it would be MOS independent. And they knew it was Praful Patel that the NCP had in mind. And yet the offer came for MOS independent, knowing that Praful Patel had in the past been a minister and may not be able to take up, be downgraded. Now, the question that comes to my mind, there are Maharashtra elections down the road, and very important, and of course the Prime Minister has to run a coalition government for the next 5 years. Has he done this in order to keep a line open to Sharad Pawar's NCP? This doesn't mean Sharad Pawar is going to jump ship or all, but these are veterans. So is this done as a goodwill gesture to Sharad Pawar? I don't know, but it is why should they offer MOS for somebody who's been a cabinet minister in the past?
What about Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar? They have emerged as key allies in the Modi cabinet. Can you also talk a little bit about them and why they are so crucial?
They are crucial because they have numbers. Chandrababu Naidu has 16, Nitish Kumar has 12, between them 28. The BJP is short of 32 as far as the majority line goes. So they are very, very critical. If both pull out, then it's trouble for the Prime Minister. And the BJP will now, I think, as time goes, it will probably try and get the support of those in the others category. That's not a very large category. In this parliament, it's become a coalitional bipolarity. One coalition headed by the Prime Minister, another coalition headed by the Congress Party or India Alliance. So I won't say headed by the Congress Party. There's sensitivities about that in the other allies, but say India Alliance on the other side, which is also a coalition. And the number of people who are outside these two is very, very small this time. But I suspect they will reach out to them. They may reach out to others also who are part of the other India Alliance given time. I don't think it will happen immediately, but as time goes by, and Prime Minister's first challenge is to stabilize the government, and he gave this signal when the swearing in took place, because such a large number of the old timers who were members of his earlier cabinets were there.
Right.
And half of them, half of the cabinet is made up of those people. So he wanted to signal experience, stability. I'm in control of the situation. It's continuity. Don't worry. Everything is okay despite us being part of the alliance. So he will stabilize the situation, try and do that. And then that's 3 or 4 state elections that are due in the next months. Haryana, Maharashtra, Jharkhand, Delhi next year, Bihar down the line next year. That is where they will have to reseize the initiative and show that they can win a couple of these states. Because the opposition also is very in a good position in these states. Right. And if they get their act right, they could win these states at the moment. They've done well. Not in Delhi, but in the other states. Bihar also not so, but in the other states they have done reasonably well. Maharashtra, of course, very well. So I think that will be the next challenge for the Prime Minister, because he has to show that the Modi magic is still intact. It's not on the wane.
Right. You say that Modi is sort of giving out a sense of stability and continuity, and there's a sense of calm among the allies. At the same time, you talk about challenges like strong opposition and also the RSS BJP relationship. Can you throw some light on that?
See, there are 3 challenges as I see. One is going to come from the allies and to keep them happy. Now there's the whole question of who gets the speaker's post. Everybody is waiting to see what is going to happen there, as they are waiting to see who will be the next BJP president. So, will they, because Speaker's post is very important. And the allies and smaller parties
Why is it that it's
because you see, if the BJP has to acquire a majority, they may well go on to split certain parties. And the speaker is very important in that, whether it gets recognized, doesn't get recognized. So BJP will want their own speaker, the allies could want their own speaker. Now, are they going to push hard enough for it? That remains to be seen. The coming hours will tell us.
And Chandrababu Naidu has pushed for
Chandrababu Naidu, I suspect, would want. Now, he also would be very keen to get a financial package, as will Nitish Kumar. What mystifies me is that Chandrababu Naidu, with 16 Lok Sabha seats, has agreed to 2 ministers, the same number as Nitish Kumar. Why? Is there a compensatory package that has been offered him? Something in lieu of just 2 ministers? Yeah. What is the understanding? I think it will unravel as time goes on. But certainly that question comes to your mind. But so the allies are one part of the issue where the Prime Minister will have to keep them happy. And that may mean putting some decisions and issues on the back burner, which they would have followed had they come to power with the majority on their own. Will they go ahead with uniform civil code? Unlikely. Will they go ahead with one nation, one election? Much more tricky. Other such issues. They will have to. Agniveer is, from all accounts, is going to be reviewed. Second challenge is the opposition. It's a very strong and it will be an aggressive opposition in Parliament. So we will see a lot of contention, fractious polity, boisterous, turbulent Parliament. That kind of thing will happen. How does the Prime Minister and the BJP reach out to the opposition, get their cooperation on issues, on bills that will need to be passed? I think it will need a very different kind of approach than the one seen in Narendra Modi's last 2 terms. And one of the not such happy things that has happened is over recent years, is the bitterness that has crept in between the ruling side and the opposition. And while they are political adversaries, that is not a very good thing for a parliamentary democracy, because you at the end of the day have to dialogue and have to collaborate as well. So how all that is going to be dealt with, that is the second challenge. The third challenge is going to come from within. That is senior leadership of the party who were sidelined, and Shivraj Chauhan is in the cabinet now. Rajnath Singh is number 2 in the cabinet. Nitin Gadkari is also, follows Amit Shah in the pecking order, is very interesting. And also the RSS, which has not campaigned from all accounts as vigorously, as enthusiastically for the BJP as it used to do in past elections. And obviously there are issues that have arisen. And Mr. Nadda's words in the midst of election in the interview, that we are capable enough to take care of our affairs and we don't need any hand-holding by the RSS. I don't know how well that went down with the RSS. But anyway, there have been meetings, and probably they'll continue to take stock of the situation. Meetings between senior leadership of the BJP and RSS, meetings amongst the RSS leaders themselves. And for the moment, they are silent and, but they will also watch. And the Prime Minister will be called to go in for wider consultations with them. There was a time in the first year that he had taken his entire cabinet to meet with the RSS brass. Okay. That wasn't repeated later. Okay. Now, will the RSS play a greater role in terms of consultations, ideas in the third term, and how the Prime Minister takes his senior colleagues with him? All those are challenges.
All those are challenges, and we'll dissect all of that with Neeja Chaudhary again in our next video. Thank you so much, Neeja ma'am, for joining us, and thank you viewers for watching this video. If you liked it, then like it, subscribe to our channel, Indian Express. Thank you so much for watching.